Hello everybody, it's Stefan Joubert from the Stefan Joubert Guitar Academy, and in today's video I'm going to be discussing dominant 7th chords with you, and we're going to take a look at how they are structured across the neck. We're going to look together on how to make them, how to form them actually, using the tritone. The tritone, for those of you who don't know what it is basically it's the 3rd and the flat 7th of the dominant 7th chord in question. So what we're going to do is we're going to use E dominant 7th, and I'll just play an E major chord. There's our E major chord. In fact, I'm going to play it on one string because we don't have so much meaning when we look at the chord in that way. So an E major chord, we have an open E. I go up 4 semitones to the G sharp, which is the major 3rd. Then I go up 3 semitones to the B, and then from there I'm going to go up 5 semitones to get back to the root. And that's a major triad. A dominant 7th triad is a dominant 7th voicing is a major triad with a flattened 7th. So what I do, I go all the way to the octave to the top, and then I'm going to go 2 semitones down, and that's my minor 7th interval. 0 to the 10th fret is the minor 7th interval. From the outset of this video, I have to make you aware that this video is not necessarily for absolute beginners. So if you don't know much about the dominant 7th chord, watch it through, but I'm not going to go into complete detail about everything. And, I'm giving you a good overview here, but it's a little bit more aimed at advanced players. So here we've got our root, 3rd, 5th. So let's just go through that again. Root, 4 semitones up, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the major 3rd, 3 semitones up to the 5th, and then 3 semitones up to the minor 7th, and if we like, 2 semitones up back to the root. So we have basically a root, 3rd, 5th, minor 7th, root. And what's important now is I'm going to share with you how the tritone works. So the tritone is the 3rd and the flat 7th of the chord in question. So the chord is an E7. So we have, that's the root, here's our 3rd, and here's our flat 7th. They will always be exactly 3 tones. So from there, 1, 2, 3 tones away from each other. Or 6 semitones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Splitting the octave into 2 equal parts. So let us go together now, and we're going to look closer at the neck at how to form various E7th chords. So now we're going to take a look at our E dominant 7th voicing. So we have the open E that we are going to use in this example. We are going to play the 5th fret on the 5th string or the A string, which is going to represent our flattened 7th. And we're going to play the 6th fret on the D or the 4th string, which will represent our major 3rd. So basically what is important to know is that we are in this position, in position number 3, which is string group 2, 5. SG for string group 2, 5, that's the position. I'll just quickly go through the position so you see where we're located. So we've got 1, 4, 6, which is the open string, open, 2nd fret and open, 2, 4 for position 2, and then 2, 5 for position 3. We're going to deal with position 3 as our basis for this lesson. So we've got our flat 7, founded from the root, going down 2 semitones to a flat 7. So from the root, 2 semitones down, you get a flat 7. And that is a major 3rd interval. 4 semitones away. 1, 2, 3, 4, because that's the chromatic scale. Basically E, then 1 semitones F, F sharp, G, G sharp. That's our major 3rd. So those are the 2 intervals that represents the tritone. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 away from each other. So basically 6 semitones away from each other, or 3 tones, hence the name tritone. So now, using this, I'm firstly going to play the E dominant 7th arpeggio to give us the lay of the land of the instrument. We've got got a third, a fifth, a flattened seventh, a root, a third, a fifth, flattened seventh, a root, a third, and a fifth, a third, a root, flat seventh, fifth, third, root, flat seventh, fifth, third. It's a very, very good idea when you practice these arpeggios that you actually say it and play it. So now what we're going to do is we're going to form a dominant seventh chord using the tritone and add notes to it. So we've got these two notes, which is the flat seven and the third. And I'm going to add the fifth in, and I'm going to add the root in. I get the star configuration, which is a voicing on string group 2, 3, 4, 5. That, in turn, will work with the A major scale. The A major scale is the same as the E Mixolydian mode. Okay, now without further ado, let us talk about making some interesting chords with the chord in question. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the root note, which is the E again. That's the lay of the land, 2, 5 where the roots are located. We're going to move the root up 2 semitones. So E, F, F sharp. Then we will get a dominant ninth voicing. Now you'll note if I play the chord by itself, there is no root in there. If I play the E in the bass, there's the root, but by itself, there is no root. If you get into deeper parts of harmony and you think in a deeper format of music, you will have to learn how to play rootless chords. And with your eye, just see that's the root, that's the root. So you don't need to have the root in the chord you're actually playing. The roots could be elsewhere, and you just view it on the neck. So that is a dominant ninth chord with no root. It is also a G sharp minor 7 flat 5 chord. Here we come to a superimposition fact. The third of E is G sharp. If you play a G sharp minor 7 flat 5, you get an E dominant ninth with no root. The arpeggio goes as follows. That's the G sharp minor 7 flat 5. Beautiful voicings with it. Okay, so we've got our dominant ninth voicing. Now what we're going to do is take the fifth. That's the fifth. It's the same as that, just on with a string skip. Move that up 2 semitones to a sixth. If you've done any ear training, you would know that that's a sixth. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our tritone, add the sixth that we've just discovered, and we'll go to the root first. So there we have our voicing. Already sound kind of jazzy just by itself, or bluesy if you like. And then we'll take the root again up 2, get our dominant 13th voicing. So now that we've got that voicing, now we can take a look at more exotic voicings. So what we're going to do, go back to our tritone, go back to the fifth. Fifth is this one here, and we'll move that up a half a step, having a sharp 5. Dominant 7th sharp 5 voicing. I've just taken the star voicing, raised that up. Immediately, there's a lot of tension. You can hear that in the sound. And then we're going to to take the root and move that up a half a step. Now we'll have a dominant 7th sharp 5 flat 9 voicing. If you're struggling to follow along at this point, just go back to the star voicing, where we have the flat 7th, the 3rd, the 5th and the root. We've simply taken the 5th, moved it up to sharp 5, the root moved it up to flat 9. We get that. Full of tension, full of tension. Then I can continue with the flat 9, make it to a normal 9. So I've got a sharp 5 natural 9th, sharp 9 voicing. And we can resolve it to an A major 7 voicing. So here we have sharp 9, sharp 5 and tritone. And what else can we do? We can also do another thing with the dominant. This is also an advanced concept. When I say this is advanced, nothing in music is really advanced. It's just there are different possibilities. You've got your tritone, and what I'm going to do now is, this is the E. I'm going to play an F sharp. An F sharp major triad over the tritone. The tritone is here, right? F sharp major is here. Listen to this. Giving us that Lydian dominant sound. Beautiful sound. And now we can also do a voicing on the flattened 3rd. So on the G. That's the voicing there. We've got the tritone, then we have the voicing there. Actually, we have the D in there, so we don't have to worry about that. So we can just do that. Dominant 9th, dominant 7th sharp 9 with a natural 5th. So you know that voicing they call the Hendrix voicing, which really does not belong to Hendrix. I don't know why it even got that terminology. It's pretty annoying. That voicing is part of this voicing. So as you can see, there are quite a lot of things that can be done. You've got your flat 7, you've got your 3rd, your 5th and your root, the star. And from the star, if we move these 2 levers up, we get something. If we move these 2 levers up further, we get something. So there's all sorts of dominant 7th voicings that we can create from a single concept. So basically, just to wrap this up, you've got your flattened 7th, you've got your 3rd, and what you want to do there is add a 9th, a sharp 11th, or a 13th, or add a flat 9, sharp 5. Those are the intervals that you can use. With the 13th, it sounds like this. Adding the 9th, it's like that. It's kind of like a vanilla sound. If I then go for a sharp 5, with a sharp 9, it sounds like this. If I go for a flat 5, which we haven't covered yet, with a flat 9, it sounds like this. Again, full of tension. Lots and lots of tension. So basically, as a practice, what you can do is take the tritone, the flat 7 and the 3rd, take the 5th and take the root, and just experiment. Move the 5th down a half a step. Dominant 7th flat 5. Move it up. Dominant 7th sharp 5. Take the root, move it up a half a step. Dominant 7th flat 9. Move it up a whole step. Dominant 7th with a natural 9. Move it up a full step. Dominant 7th sharp 9. Then move them up in configuration. Take the 5th down and take the root up. Basically, flat 9, flat 5. 9 with a flat 5. Sharp 9, flat 5. It's a bit difficult to play that one. But as you can see, there's so much that can be done. And then, of course, you can then learn to play. This was a beautiful one. Dominant 13, flat 9. beautiful sound. And in that case, actually playing the Dorian flat 2 scale over it. There's just so much that can be done with dominance. So I just want to encourage you, have the stability of the unstable tritone. Take the fifth and the root, move them up in relation with the tritone. And then you'll have all sorts of wonderful dominant sevenths that you can use. There's a world of music within the dominant seventh chords. What I'd like you to do is to take this third and the flat seventh and then add extensions above that and try various things out. It's a very bad idea to just learn a voicing, a dominant ninth voicing, and never understand what is that voicing about. It's very good to understand, okay, I've got the tritone there. What do I have there? Okay, I've got the ninth there. Oh, I've got the fifth over there. What if I flatten the fifth? I get that. What if I sharpen the fifth? What if I take the fifth to a sixth, which will give me a dominant 13th chord? What if I flatten the ninth at that point? And so we come to the end of this little video, and I thank you again for spending your time with me. Once again, this video is just an overview. When I teach my students in my private lessons via Zoom, I go into great detail. We do not start with all the advanced things. There's no point. We start from the beginning. We would typically just start, if we deal with dominant sevenths, I would just get my students to try to play the tritones along with the root, or to try to learn the dominant seventh across the neck, and at the same time to play and say what they're doing. So basically doing like root, fifth, flat seventh, third, flat seventh, root, fifth, root, third, flat seventh, third, fifth, root. To have a total understanding of what they're dealing with and why they're dealing with it. And then to play it in a blues context, and maybe to start with the arpeggios. And to learn the arpeggios across the neck. That's now about blues and dominant seventh chords. I mean, there's such a vast world that one needs to go through in learning to play the guitar, that each subject requires thousands, well not thousands, but lots of hours of practice, hundreds of hours. So in this video, I'm just doing a quick overview on the dominant sevenths, just showing you that if you've got the flat seven and the third, and you've got the two levers that you can pull, that fifth and that root, one goes up, other one goes down, or both goes up, you can form various different types of voicings to come up with very beautiful chords, such as this one. You know, your dominant 13 sharp 11th chord, which gives us that Lydian dominant sound. Very, very beautiful sound, and of course that is often used as a tritone substitution scenario, and it would often resolve down, half step down to a major 7th chord. There's so much that can be spoken about, but basically I just want to leave you with the idea of use the third and the flat 7th, or the flat 7th and the third, they're kind of interchangeable, and then just try to play with those levers and try to experiment, try to see what you can come up with, try to see if you can visualize the neck. Remember, in this lesson we did string group 2, 5, and the 2, 5 is the area that we've worked on, which is known as position 3. For the cagers out there, that would be the C major shape. I don't like the cage system, but I understand the logic behind it. I prefer the 2-5 system. That gives us much more information. So once again, thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you, as always, for watching the videos. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Please leave a comment. I love interaction, and I'd love to hear from you. And have a fantastic day ahead, wherever you are in the world. We'll speak soon in the next video. Bye-bye.